him up. Let's go at the bell.
So we're ready to go with some bonus action here. Two local favorites, two former Detroit Golden Gloves champions, was Ansel Stewart, a man who has a big hand in the Detroit Golden Gloves, as the third man in the ring. And we are underway, and Josiaj Banks sprints to the center of the ring.
He cut off the distance quick.
Shackleford says he's the pressure fighter, and he thinks he's going to be the one that will pressure him more, but Banks doing his share early.
Yes, they were both sparring partners. I did ask, who got the best of each other in sparring. Banks was very nice. He said it was good work, but Shackleford, he wasted no time. He says, I got the best of him, and he's getting knocked out tonight.
Yeah, Shackleford's certain that he would score the knockout here tonight. He himself got knocked out last time out against Ilie Lopez, a fight in Indianapolis. Ran into a Cuban amateur standout in a bout in Indianapolis. Maybe a little bit of bad luck matchmaking there for Josiaj Shackleford.
And he said, I've got to get past that. I'm going to get past it by taking a tough fight and winning it tonight. We'll see how he does.
Both fighters trying to establish the jab. Both fighters got pretty decent jabs. But you see Banks is the one that's bringing it to Shackleford.
Hard right hand right down the middle there from Shackleford, as Shackleford starting to temper the pace a little bit by just lancing with that jab.
Banks has used his jab so far. That's why that right hand is landing, not both as a probing jab and just to set up that right hand.
See Shackleford switching out to left hand stance, changing it up. He's a little bit, now he's back to right. He's a little bit more of a boxer, more technical. Oh, nice body shot there, working up the body. And he's got to do some of that. He's got to wear him down.
Shackleford varying his offense here, climbing the ladder with those body shots, then shots up top. Starting to take control here in the opening round. Banks has shown, at least in sparring, that he could take a shot. He was a former sparring partner of Adonis Stevenson. And to this day, he said that Stevenson's shots with 16 and 20-ounce sparring gloves, that's still the hardest he's been hit, even including the bikers that he was fighting in bare knuckle.
Yeah, that says something, doesn't it? Banks told us the jab was going to be the key to everything he did in this fight. So far it has been, but Shackleford doing his share coming back in this round as well.
Shackleford just continuing to pepper Banks with that jab.
Yeah, being the smarter fighter, you see Shackleford giving him a lot of movement, moving side to side, not standing directly in front of him. And you see Banks just in front of Shackleford, running into every shot that Shackleford throws. This was a good round for Shackleford.
Of a good opening round for Josiaj Shackleford. That'll do it for round one.
All right, here we see Shackleford just using the range, working the body, going upstairs, really changing up his combination, being the smarter fighter, controlling the range. You see how he maneuvers him with the jab, Corey, like controls him with the jab and then lands his combinations. That's a smart fighter.
Shackleford's had a solid camp sparring with Ardrell Holmes and Joseph Hicks, two men we've seen here on Big Time Boxing USA. Some very polished fighters.
And it's showing, you're going to get better when you spar those type of guys.
Oh, good counter right hand over the top there from Shackleford.
And we talked about the fact that Banks wanted to use the jab, but Shackleford has used it very effectively, and they actually both have, but Shackleford's followed with the right more often in this fight.
Good body work for both fighters there, and there's Shackleford with some good left hooks to the body.
Yeah, you're right, Corey. Not only does he have a good jab, but he again, I'm telling you, like, he paused with the jab. He controls them. He sets up those combinations by touching him with the jab and then letting his right hand go, and the rest of the combinations, right hand, left hook. He just switched again to righty. No, lefty now. He keeps switching on me.
His mission is to confuse us. Also, the combinations from Shackleford. Banks has been kind of a one-punch guy in this fight. Shackleford's throwing more combinations and big right hands.
Shackleford really taking control here in the second round. Some eye-catching right hands from the Detroit Golden Gloves champion.
He got a late start as a pro, but Shackleford thinks that he can make up for it by fighting a lot. He's already got a fight scheduled in July, so he wants to be as active as he can be.
Yeah, Shackleford was very open in our fighter meetings, guys, about just what boxing has done for him. As you mentioned, Al, only started boxing at the age of 27, and he said it helped him with his depression. It helped him through some family issues as well, and as a result, he's just going to keep this going. It's more about, you know, his self-improvement, I would say, than it is necessarily about his goals in the sport.
Yeah, he drove from Minneapolis up here, and he said, you know, I just want to go where I can to get fights and continue this.
And he continues with the jab. He moves forward, he moves backwards. Anywhere he moves, he uses that jab to control that distance and land his power shots. But Banks comes back every now and then to the body. He takes a good shot. I mean, look, when you get hit by Adonis Stevenson,
yeah,
that takes, and he was a heavyweight at one point, didn't he? Say he weighed like 200 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, Banks needs to make something happen to change the trajectory of this fight. Something with power from his standpoint, he hopes.
Now, only 4 rounds to work with. Likely not enough time to really grind Shackleford down with this pressure style. He might need something big, but the big shots came from Josiaj Shackleford in round 2 again. See Mo Hamoud in the corner of Josiaj Shackleford. Well, this one has Fight of the Year contender written all over it. Subriel Matias returns to action, looking to keep his impressive knockout run alive as he takes on the undefeated Australian Liam Perro, June 15th from Puerto Rico, and live here on DAZN as round 3 gets underway here between Josiaj Shackleford and Jashar Banks. A bonus action coming your way here from the Wayne State Fieldhouse in Detroit, Michigan. 2 Detroit fighters going toe-to-toe in this one, and 2 old sparring partners going at it.
So far, you can say Shackleford is making sweet music in this fight.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. A good defense, making him miss, make him pay. He's the thinking fighter. Banks is not thinking in there, and that's why he's running into stuff.
Every once in a while, Jashar Banks does sneak that jab in there. Al, as you mentioned, he said that would be the key for him. And every once in a while, it does break through, just not with the regularity of Shackleford.
Exactly. He's pushing it a little bit, and he's not able to. Early in the fight, he was following with the right hand. He hasn't done that in the last round and a half or 2 rounds. And there, he tries the right, but not able to really make it work. He's a carpenter by trade, and he's going to try and figure something out geometrically to change this fight.
Well, and as you mentioned, the work that Jashar Banks does outside of boxing, good right hand there from Banks over the top. He kind of revealed to us some of the realities of this level of boxing as well. He was in a rent-to-own scenario with a house, but he said he gave that up because he had to work too much and couldn't train as much as he wanted. But right now, he is eating right hands from Josiaj Shackleford.
It's paying off. He's bringing it. Good solid shots by Shackleford. It's like he wakes up Banks again. When he lands a big shot and then Banks comes right back with that hard jab. Banks is trying too hard with the jab. He needs just to put it out there, touch, dissect with the jab, up and down jab. Not every, the jab doesn't have to be hard. He's loading up with the jab too much. He's focusing too much on trying to land hard shots. And if you see, Shackleford is just letting his combinations go.
Right hand to the body there from Shackleford a moment ago. I got to say, Banks recovered well from that sequence earlier that looked like it might have had Banks in trouble.
A lot of switching still from Shackleford, and it was a little surprising because he's so effective as a righty. I don't know if that's necessary, but he's controlling things.
Wild left hand misses over the top there from Shackleford. Final 15 seconds here of round 3 as they trade jabs in the center of the ring. Big left hand from Shackleford, and that one has made an impact on Josiaj Banks. Is there enough time for Shackleford to capitalize? That will do it for round 3.
Tell you what, it looked like Banks was going to the neutral corner for a while there. Took him a while to find the blue corner.
All it takes is you to push forward. Push forward and let your hands go and you'll be in control. That's all you got to do. Stay close. Keep it close.
See the other coach, Mo Patterson, trying to turn things around for her charge, Josiaj Banks.
Stay close to him and throw combinations. Let your hands go. You're not stepping with my jab. This is the last round. Give it your all. Let me see you give it your all. Last round. All right? I need some combinations.
Former British and Commonwealth champion. The former British and Commonwealth champion returns at the Resorts World Arena in Birmingham. Tyler Denny will defend his European middleweight title against former British and Commonwealth champion Felix Cash on Saturday, June 22nd, live worldwide on DAZN. And
solid shot by
right back to that big left hook.
They're going for broke now, both guys. But of course, Shackleford always gets the best of them.
Shackleford was so sure about being able to knock him out based on their sparring sessions, and they had him hurt badly in the last round. We'll see if he can finish the job here in round 4, but Banks has come back with good power punches in this 4th round.
Yeah, I think the reality here, guys, Shackleford wants that knockout. He wants to live up to his promise. Josiaj Banks needs one here in the 4th.
He needs more flurries now. He needs to mix it up, punches and bunches, then go for the big one, go for the home run.
There's a slight chance that Shackleford could be too reckless in this last round, going for that knockout and get hit with something. I don't know if Banks has it in him to hurt him, but it's possible because he's being really wild with his attack, Shackleford.
Mouthpiece knocked loose by one of those right hands from Shackleford. That stoppage will certainly benefit Josiaj Banks. He's got a little less than 2 minutes to make something big happen here.
Banks is tough. He's still coming. He's landed some hard shots. But Shackleford, the smarter guy, look, baiting him in, trying to bait him in with the jab, trying to catch him coming in with the jab, and then overhand right.
This has been a fun one-sided fight.
Good shot there from Shackleford. And he's got Banks in a little bit of trouble again. But again, the resiliency of Josiaj Banks just shaking these shots off and has been able to come back every time he's been visibly hurt. And that mouthpiece again dislodged.
Every time Banks gets hurt, he comes back in this fight when he kind of wakes him up.
He wakes him up with another shot. And it was that right uppercut that knocked the mouthpiece out of Banks. There it goes again.
The right hand over the top. Shackleford with the look of a fighter who is desperately hunting a knockout here. Again, he doesn't need the knockout right now. He's unquestionably ahead on the scorecards, but
he could easily coast Corey and just move and stick and move, use the jab. I mean, he's winning the fight. Oh,
big right hand again from Shackleford, who just wobbled Josiaj Banks with another sweeping left hook.
You know, the story of this fight is the combination punch from Shackleford. That's what has separated him, that plus his power, of course, from Banks.
And the mouthpiece again dislodged.
That took a while. I tell you what, that was like a whole 30 seconds, I believe, before they put the mouthpiece back on him. You could have been more, Corey.
We're right next to Banks' corner, who's been reminding him, hey, you got to bite down on that mouthpiece.
Oh, the doctor's going to check him out.
Saw the blood splattered on the face of Josiaj Banks.
Got 20 seconds left.
And we're back to action. Shackleford trying to go downstairs to the body. Rips a nice right hand right along the belt line.
Good body shots there by Shackleford.
Closing moments of this fight as Shackleford all over Josiaj Banks once again. That was a fun local 4-rounder.
And you know, Shackleford told us when describing Banks, he's tough and he can take a punch. That was an accurate description. Well, Shackleford in round 4, really very aggressive, looking for the knockout, as Corey pointed out, and he wanted it, he predicted it, so he was really going for it. And he had Banks in trouble on several occasions, throwing combinations, and I think that really was the big difference in this fight. You see him putting his punches together and also going down to the body as part of those combinations, but that left hook and then a right hand after it, yeah, those were the punches that really hurt Banks in that last round, and there were moments where it looked like he wasn't going to get through that 4th round, lost his mouthpiece not once but twice during the course of the round, and Shackleford put an exclamation mark on this fight even without a knockout.
Yeah, it was a good barn burner. I think Shackleford probably needed 2 more rounds, Corey. Maybe like in a 6-round fight, he might have stopped him. But then again, I don't know, because every time Banks got hit, he came right back.
Well, I'll tell you, that uppercut that sent the mouthpiece flying, that's the perfect TikTok, isn't it? Perfect little clip. Perfect shot from Josiaj Shackleford. Well, a huge crossover clash on DAZN as Elle Brooke returns to face Paige Van Zandt at X Series 15. With Van Zandt boasting experience in both bare knuckle and the UFC, can Elle Brooke overcome her toughest test against the battle-tested Van Zandt? This is part of your DAZN subscription. And on June 1st, a fascinating night in Saudi Arabia as Matchroom and Queensbury go head-to-head in 5 versus 5 with bragging rights on the line. This historic fight night will now be headlined by Deontay Wilder versus Zhilei Zhang. Buy now on DAZN.com. All right, looks like we are ready to make this one official. Let's send it back up to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Luis Delgado, Rose Gross, and Patrick Schmidt, are in agreement. They all scored the same, 40-36, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Josiaj Mighty Joe Shackleford.
So Josiaj Shackleford improves to 3-1 in his professional career. Well, what a week for this young man. A concert and a win, Al. That's only a handful of fighters can probably ever boast that.
That is for sure, and he said that was successful last night, and he certainly made it successful tonight. Didn't get the knockout that he wanted.